Okay, so yeah, thank you to Palais for inviting me down, and for Michael, my colleague from Pioneer. So just to give you a little bit of a history of who I am, my name's Rik Parkinson, and I've been working at Pioneer for about 9 years now, and I look after the product planning for Pioneer Europe. So it's my job essentially to make sure that the equipment we release, like our new DDJ-SZ and our Serato controllers and our Pioneer CDJs, are as good as they can be. So if you don't like anything about our products, it's probably something to do with me, so I apologise for that. Okay, so what we're going to try and do today is take you over some of our new products, essentially our Serato controllers that we've just announced this week, our DDJ-SZ, that hopefully you can see here. And then we're also going to look at our new RMX 500, which is an effector, the smaller brother to our RMX 1000 that we brought out about 2 years ago now. And then we're going to take a bit of a break, and then we're going to look at Recordbox, which is Pioneer's iTunes for DJs, and a very essential tool if you're using any of Pioneer's hardware. And then we're going to look at the importance of Recordbox and Pioneer's professional hardware, so our CDJ 2000 Nexuses and our DJ 900 Nexuses, and why you need to be using Recordbox if you're using our hardware. And then we're going to finish on a new project that I'm working on at the moment that some of you are aware of, that I've been working with here today on, called Kubo, that I'm going to explain to you about. So this is something completely new that Pioneer are doing, and nobody really knows about anything yet because we haven't announced anything, but I can talk to you about it today, so that's quite exciting. And then Pally wants me to do some kind of demonstration, but I'm trying to get away from that, but I'm probably going to have to do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do for each product, I think it would be a nice touch if I played to you our official video that we obviously spend a lot of time on producing. It kind of presents the products really well for you. And then I'll go on to the product physically and kind of talk you over it, and it's a good opportunity for you to ask me any questions about it. So, let me just pull up. So this is Pioneer's DDJ-SX. SZ, sorry.
The new DDJ-SZ completes our range of Serato DJ performance controllers. It's the fourth and final unit in this professional DDJs range, which has something for every situation, setup and price point. From small to big, they all effortlessly provide the most exciting new features that Serato DJ has to offer. Different levels of portability, connectivity and build quality make this technology accessible to everyone. The SB is perfect for beginners at the lowest price and is the most portable, but is still completely capable of providing professional results. The SR is the next in line with aluminium faceplate, 8 performance pads and 4-deck control. The SX is the perfect balance of portability, unprecedented performance control with a built-in 4-channel mixer for big system connectivity. Finally, the SZ is the ultimate professional Serato DJ controller the market has been waiting for. At 10 kilos or 22 pounds and just under a metre wide, it packs in most of the technology found on a CDJ 2000 and DJ 900 Nexus setup with that familiar spacious layout and chunky controls. The most obvious is the huge CDJ platters with central jog display. This shows the playback position as well as a red countdown to the next cue point, providing the best virtual stickers on the market. And unlike other controllers, the DDJ-SZ accurately replicates the Serato DJ playhead on screen and in high resolution. This, combined with conductive touch technology for smoother, lighter, more responsive control, not to mention mechanical tension adjust, makes the SZ perfect for beat juggling and scratching. The platter edge also lights up blue when set to control decks 1 and 2, and white when controlling decks 3 and 4, making assignments stunningly clear. Break speed, wide pitch, slip mode, and all the usual flagship deck controls make it everything a professional could wish for. The popular pad section works exactly like the DDJ-SX, with hot cues, roll, slicer, and velocity-sensitive sampler, but with 3 new shift modes. Hot loop, loop save, and slicer loop mimic the main pad effects, but with added auto looping. The pads themselves are the biggest on the market at 30mm squared, spaciously laid out with plenty of room to get creative. The new colour illumination makes it easier to know which pad effects you are controlling. Even more useful and exclusive to the SZ is the ability to customize the color of each hot cue pad in Serato DJ. Now you can categorize cues with a different color for beats, breakdowns, or intros, and always recognize the right button to press for every track in your collection. The DDJ-SZ will take center stage of almost any size setup with its 4-channel standalone mixer that shares the same build quality, components, and layout of our flagship mixers. High quality faders feature depth fader start control and P-lock caps that will never come off accidentally. Our best ever magnetic crossfader is capable of performing 10 million operations without losing quality and has attention and curve control. In the style of our top of the range mixes, you can now take advantage of 4 sound color effects. Choose between echo, filter, jet or pitch, and then turn the knob on any channel to instantly apply the effect. Twist to the right from its center position to get a high pass filter, or left to get a low pass filter. What makes these totally unique is there are 6 independent FX units, making it possible to dial in different parameters for the mics and sampler output, the 4 mixer channels, and now the master channel too. On top of the sound color effects, the SZ has an all-new oscillator section, allowing you to instantly trigger and control extra synthesized sounds on top of your set. Noise, siren, horn, and reverse cymbal add extra depth to your mixes and can be combined with sound color effects and routed to mixers channels 3 and 4 or to the master output. As well as all these great performance features, the SZ has been designed to make it easy to switch DJs by including 2 USB connections. 2 laptops can be connected at once and the entire controller can be split into 2, which makes it possible to DJ back-to-back effortlessly with both having access to all functions of the mixer. When the previous DJ is disconnected, the DDJ-SZ automatically switches over control of the other half. To make this a reality, we've included 2 24-bit sound cards with 5 stereo channels out. These sound cards also feature 5 stereo inputs, so you can control Serato DJ's 4 virtual decks with Serato noise map discs or vinyl, and record your whole set with the 5th stereo input. Of course, the DDJ-SZ will work as a MIDI controller and sound card for any music or DJ software with the same switchover capabilities, and even connect 2 different audio applications from the same computer at once. When it comes to connections, a total of 4 CDJs or any other line level devices can be mixed. Channels 3 and 4 have phono preamps, so 2 turntables and 2 CDJs can be used in combination. There's also dedicated inputs for 2 microphones, which means you won't have to sacrifice mixer channels. The output section is the same as the DDJ-SX with balanced XLR master and balanced jack booth, plus master 2 on RTA. However, it is seriously upgraded when it comes to quality, as it borrows flagship technology to get a stunning 107 dB signal to noise ratio on the outputs. The SZ uses an audiophile Wolfson digital to analog converter, as found on the CDJ-2000 Nexus. Providing access to the best of all worlds, the DDJ-SZ can be combined with CDJs for Recordbox playback, sub-controllers for even more control, and even turntables for vinyl purists and scratch DJs. It's the most affordable way to get flagship CDJ and DJM build quality in one consolidated unit, and provides a fistful of exclusive functions you won't find anywhere else.
So, that was the DDJ-SZ that we released just about a week ago now, at the same time that we released the RMX 500 at NAMM show in America. So what I want to try and do is I want to try and walk you through the product, just like David did on the video there, but try and give you a bit more of an insight into each feature and maybe kind of why we did something on that. So to give you a bit of a history on the product, this is the last one in our range of Serato SX controllers at the minute. So we have the DDJ-SB, which is a small unit, the DDJ-SR, yep, the SR, which is this one, which is a 2-channel version, the DDJ-SX, which was quite popular, the 4-channel version, and then the new one is the DDJ-SZ that we've got here today. So when we made these products, this was a bit of a risk for us at Pioneer. You know, we make CDJs and DJMs, and that's kind of our flagship product for us. But when we were making this controller, we had to take a decision about the size. You know, it might be a great product if you're a controller DJ and you like using controllers, but from Pioneer's point of view, it was quite a risky strategy, because do we make one of these that's the same size as our CDJs and DJMs, and do we risk maybe customers, you know, not purchasing our CDJs and maybe starting to use controllers? And we were a bit skeptical of how the market might react to a controller of this size, but from the initial launch and the pre-orders and the comments online and the feedback we got, we kind of understood that maybe the future is controllers at the minute and maybe not necessarily CDJs. So it was kind of a bit of an experiment for us with this product. So yeah, it runs on Serato DJ, which you're probably familiar with if you use the DDJ-SX and SR. The SB runs on DDJ Serato Intro. And yeah, it's basically two CDJ-2000 Nexuses and a DJM-900, but in one box. So there's no processing inside here. You can't use it with Recordbox because it's all dependent on the processing coming from the laptop. So yeah, to walk you through the product, it holds the same traits and trademarks of all of our other ones, but just in a bigger platform. So it is 4 channels that are kind of 1, 2 in the middle here, and then 3 and 4. But as you can see, we've started to borrow some of the things from our DJM range. So you can see we've got these independent pots here, which are basically color effects that we've borrowed from the DJM-900. We've got this new feature here that was the like the oscillator. But it's got pitch noises on it. And that's all independent of the hardware, of the software rather. These are all sounds actually running out of here itself. So whether you're plugging CDJs into it, which you can do, you can plug turntables into it, you can actually use it as a standalone mixer as well. And for anybody that's using timecode, you can actually plug, say you've had 2 turntables either side of here, you can plug them into here, put your timecode discs on, and this piece of hardware will actually send timecode to your software. So if you're using Serato, there's no need for your SFL breakout box. We've tried to incorporate all of those other extra pieces needed into one piece of hardware. Okay, so I'm going to just hopefully randomly select a track. Oh, that one's terrible. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just run you around the products and kind of show you each and every function. So the first thing you can notice is the platter. It's exactly the same size as our CDJ-2000, but the one benefit this platter has over our CDJs is this is conductive technology. And for those of you that don't know what conductive is, our CDJs are based on pressure. So when you physically touch them, that will touch a sensor and that will slow the track down. So if I play this record, it's got like a little sensor underneath it. This one works on static conductivity like an iPhone. So as soon as it makes a circuit in your body, you know when you're using your iPhone you can't use it with gloves on, that's because it isn't making a circuit of static electricity. So basically for scratch DJs or Serato DJs that kind of maybe a little bit more performance based, you can get a lot finer movements on it. I don't know whether you can see that light flashing. So we call it finger drumming. And if I did that on our CDJ, you're never going to get the same response. So for a scratch DJ, it's kind of quite a cool feature. So if I put that with my t-shirt on, it's not going to stop because there's no circuit there. But if I did that on the CDJ over there, it's going to stop. So that's the difference on the platter. And obviously the same size as the CDJ-2000. Another cool feature we've got on here now is we now have this on-air display so you can identify which deck you're on. So at the minute we're on deck 1. If you hit deck number 3, it will change colour to indicate that you're on a different deck. So it kind of always frees up your eyes to see which deck you're on. We've got tempo adjust that we didn't have on our other controllers. So +8, sorry, wrong deck. +8, +10, +50. So all of our other controllers you were never able to do that, but on this one you have a wider pitch range. And probably one of the best features, we've now got the ability for the stop time that's special to the DDJ-SZ. And also we've now got a feeling adjustment. So there's kind of quite a lot of tension on the platter there. If you turn this round, not much tension on the platter. If you turn it around, kind of quite a harsh control there. Very much like, again, the DDJ-2000. We've incorporated the needle search, so you can skip through a track really fast. So you can search right through the track there, just at the push of a button, which is really cool. If anybody was aware of slip mode on the DDJ-2000, we've also now got slip mode on here, which basically means that you can stop a track. If I just get it. So with slip mode engaged, I could actually stop the record. And you can see that it'll actually continue. So you'll never lose beats. So a really cool feature of the DDJ-2000. Our looping section is very similar to the DDJ-SX, which is basically just, and then obviously you can make it smaller. Or we have an auto loop mode where you can set the length inside. So a really easy way of looping. Our effects section is at the top here. So simply engage it. Let me just. Yeah. So you can see the effects there now. So 3 different layers of effects. And then to change the effects, you literally just hit shift and then cycle through the different effects for each channel. You've got these cool buttons here so you can quickly view different modes inside a tractor. Sorry, Serato, sorry. And then you've got some more finer buttons up here that basically just give you the ability to switch through different modes, get back into your performance modes. So making it really easy for the DJ. A cool feature as well is we've got a sensor button. So it will basically just censor part of the music straight away. So if there was swearing in it, and then we've also got jog modes. So there's DDJ mode, and then also jog mode, which works like the CDJ would. So as you can see, it's more or less the CDJ. And then the main thing down here is our performance pad area. So if I go into the hot cue modes, we can now put in different colour hot cues. And you can see that when I push these in, these buttons reflected the different colours on the pads. So now you can obviously just jump back to anywhere you want, and then you can just delete them off again. So the DJ will always have this kind of visual representation of where the loop is on the screen and also on the controller at the same time. We've got our roll modes, so, and then you can change the size of that. The slicer mode, which is kind of quite a cool feature. You can see the slice mode. So always on beat. You can see how it's working there, just slice up the V. Until you yeah, kind of another way to kind of be creative with your music. So that's kind of more or less that side, and it's mirrored completely the same on the other side. Then we kind of get into the mixer section. So it is 4 channels. The way you switch to the other deck, if you pause this deck and then hit deck 3, then you can load another track, and then you come into channel 1. So then if you hit deck 1 again, hit deck 1, and then you come back to this deck, and away you go. So quite simple. So we've now got the colour effects on here. You've got an echo. A jet effect. And these are all hardware effects again, so if you're using a CDJ or a turntable, you're still going to get the effects. And then the pitch as well. And then over on the oscillator, if you decide which sounds you want and then select the volume, and the good thing to remember is we've got a master colour effect on the master outboard as well. So one of the main things I like about this product is the fact that it's got 2 sound cards. So if this is installed in a club and you arrive with your laptop and there's another DJ using it at the same time, all you do is you put in your laptop and you switch over the sound cards, and you just take control of the hardware. So no need to switch in and out. If you're traveling with it and somebody else is using it, they just put their laptop in and away they go. So yeah, 4 independent outputs, 4 independent inputs on it. It's got a booth output, a master output, 2 sound cards, the Wolfson digital to analog converter like on the CDJ-2000 Nexus, and I think it weighs about 13 kilos, I think if I remember correctly. But yeah, like I said, this is kind of the last one in our range now, the S range of controllers with Serato DJ. So, anybody got any questions on the DDJ-SZ? No? Okay, cool. So now I'm going to show you the DDJ-SX, which is the smaller brother to the DDJ-SZ.
Into the DJ.
Oh. So this is the DDJ-SZ.
The DDJ-SX is the world's first controller to support Serato DJ, and because Pioneer and Serato have worked together on the design, it features the latest technology from both camps. We've also come up with some really exciting new features that you won't find anywhere else. First up, we've made the hardware tough for the road with an aluminium faceplate and jog wheel. We've brought a touch of CDJ to the tables with a brilliant illuminated jog display that feeds back essential functions like track position with the best look on the market. They use conductive technology for super responsive touch control and incredibly low latency. Right next to the decks, you get instant access to the 3rd and 4th decks, plus an exclusive dual deck control. This makes it possible to build up multi-track compositions and then scratch 2 tracks or song elements at the same time. Manipulating the music even further, you get 8 super high quality rubber pads with instant access to hot cues, roll, and the slicer for dicing up and retriggering your beats. And finally, the sampler takes advantage of exclusive velocity-sensitive pad control for truly expressive finger drumming. There's a whole loop editing section too, putting all the creative performance functions right at the front with clear definition. Another major leap forward is Serato's exciting partnership with legendary sonic technicians iZotope, who helped create the advanced twin effects section at the top of the controller. For the first time, DJs have access to wet-dry, FX select, along with beat control and 2 dedicated effects parameter dials and buttons to really control the sound. Just below this is the needle search with direct access to slip mode on the right and reverse on the left. The mixer section is another testament to the partnership, with 4 channels operating as a real mixer. You get Serato DJ Isolator EQ and DJM style colour filters on every channel. At the top is the browse control with direct deck loading, instant doubles and effects assigning. Down the centre you have the master output control and meters, a dedicated booth out control and headphone cue section. Along with the 4 channel faders with fader start, there's a dedicated sampler volume too. The crossfader is easily replaceable with fader assign control and retractable curve control on the front. When it comes to connections, the headphone section has small and large jack, plus a retractable level control for safe transient. The input channels have 4 RCAs, with channels 1 and 2 featuring switchable phono line preamps, easily accessed from the front panel. In combination from 4 virtual decks, 4 line, 2 turntable and 2 mic sources can be connected and monitored through individual mixer channel meters. Channel 3 has a Combi XLR jack mic input and a second mic input on channel 4 using jack. So many people will be thrilled to see XLR and RCA for the master out, plus dedicated booth output on balanced jacks. Finally, Serato DJ mixes can be recorded internally in the software. As you can see, the DDJ-SX has some seriously heavyweight features, plus all the connections you need for connecting to professional PA systems. It's got the booth out that so many people need for live use, and all the remixing and live editing functions that modern technology can offer. It goes without saying that a Serato and Pioneer controller comes completely pre-mapped, so just install the software, plug it in, and it's ready to go. The first 10,000 units will also ship with a Serato video license, adding a serious video mixing option into the mix. The DDJ-SX really has everything and it's such a pleasure to use, so if you want the best performance, mobile, scratch DJ and controller, this is the one for you.
So that's the DDJ-SX. So that's the DDJ-SX, which is this one. So, to talk you over this one, this is exactly the same as the DDJ-SZ, but you've got smaller velocity control pads. The jog wheels are smaller than the DDJ-SZ. You don't have the independent filters or colour effects on each channel. You don't have the isolator effects. This doesn't send time code, so if you're using a time code vinyl with it, then you're also going to need the Serato SFL sound card as well. This has only got 1 sound card inside there, so you can't switch between units to units like you can do on this unit. This doesn't have booth output, so kind of again quite important, this is going to be an installation product. Although it does have the needle search, same as the CDJ-2000s. The lights here on the pads aren't RGB, so they aren't different colours like this. They are just red, oh no, blue pads they are, yeah. You only have 1 independent search thing, so you can't search for multiple libraries at the same time. And obviously the jog size, and obviously the price as well. I think this retails now for approximately €900, and this is about €2,000 now, so a bit of a price comparison there. But the sound quality on this is much far superior to that of this, because this does have Wolfson DAC chips, and for anybody that doesn't know, the Wolfson DAC is probably one of the best digital to analog converters you can get, and that's the same one that's inside our CDJ-2000 Nexus. I think it's all about what you want really. Are you a DJ that's travelling and maybe likes controllers, then maybe the SZ isn't the right type of product for you. But if you're a mobile DJ and you're taking your own equipment with you, then maybe it's right for you. You know, I know these guys have got this nice case made up here, but this one will fit in a soft bag. You can stick it on your back, and away you go. And again, it's just Serato DJ. And for anybody that's using Traktor, we did actually release a TSI file for this. So if you are using Traktor, then you can map it to Traktor, and we released an official TSI file as well. So one thing I'll say about that is, I know whenever we release a product, the first thing people say to us is, why does it not support Traktor? Where's the Traktor TSI file? It's quite difficult for us to do. If we make a product that's designed specifically with Serato, it's kind of not good business if we then turn around and say, oh, we've just made it compatible with Traktor. So it's kind of quite difficult for us to do sometimes. So we have to go through quite a lot of negotiations with Serato, for example, to release an official TSI file. Of course, people do make them and they are available on the web, but they aren't official from Pioneer. So although it is quite a simple thing to do, there's quite a lot of politics, just to let you know why we don't do it instantly. And also, to give you a bit of background on where Native Instruments are at the minute, so Native Instruments are now a hardware manufacturer. So maybe 2 years ago, they were a software manufacturer, and their business model was to license software with hardware. So it would make perfect sense for Pioneer to license a version of Traktor from them when we make a controller. But now they're a hardware manufacturer, so that's why you're not seeing many other companies make Traktor controllers at the minute. It's because they're now a hardware manufacturer. So we're basically in direct competition with them now, so that's kind of why you're not seeing that at the minute. So I haven't seen any Denon, any Newmark, any Vestax, or whatever. Nobody's making them with Traktor anymore because they're a hardware manufacturer. But Serato are a software company, so it's a perfect time. So that's a bit of the reason, a bit of the history why. Okay, so that's the DDJ-SZ, the DDJ-SX, and then the last one in the line is the DDJ-SR that I'll play you. This is kind of the just mid-bottom range end of the lineup.
The DDJ-SR is our latest controller designed specifically to work plug and play with Serato DJ. It shares the same design, layout and performance features that make the DDJ-SX the most exciting controller on the market. The new SR is smaller and lighter, making it more portable, and is USB powered, so it's quick and easy to set up anywhere. Combined with 4 new and exclusive pad effects, it's the controller for taking creativity on the road. Just like the SX, the SR can control up to 4 decks with the 2 large aluminium platters and features the popular sync function and slip mode. The mixer has 2 channels with independent high and low pass filters on each, plus a dedicated sampler volume control. There's balanced jack output and booth on RCA, plus a mic and aux channel to bring in extra sounds. It also has a rugged steel faceplate, making it reliable for the harshest club environments. We streamlined the size of the DDJ-SR but kept all the most important performance features from the DDJ-SX. You get 16 high-quality velocity-sensitive rubber pads with instant access to hot cues, roll, sampler, and the slicer function for dicing up and re-triggering your beats. The SR gets special treatment with a new Pad Plus button, which adds another element to each of these 4 pad effects. With this function switched on, the hot cue and sampler are combined with roll. Now every time you trigger a hot cue or sample, it's looped in time with the beat. Adjust the beat division using the loop controls on the right and easily keep an eye on the loop length using the new LED display. The roll function is turned into a trans effect with different timings mapped out over the pads, so you can create a rhythmic gated sound manually. Finally, the slicer is turned into combo effects mode when Pad Plus is switched on. Combo effects assigns the first 3 pads to trigger your effects, so they instantly come on when you press them and off as soon as you release your finger from the pad. This makes it easy to rapidly tap in different effects such as reverbs or delays onto individual noises, such as drum sounds and a beat. The effects section has also been developed with new and improved effects packs that can be bought inside the app alongside the 12 free bass presets. Just like the SX, you can assign each effect unit to any channel and set the unit to single or multiple effects mode. Single effects mode gives you more parameters and advanced control over one effect, while multi-effects mode lets you chain 3 presets together for effects combination. The DDJ-SR is completely geared up to the creative DJ who wants to explore all the live remixing innovations the market has to offer and more. What sets the SX and SR apart from the competition is how effortless and immediate it is to start using these functions instantly without any preparation.
So this one is the DDJ-SR. So what you start to miss off here now is there's only 2 channels on this unit as opposed to 4, like on the SX and the SR. Although this one is bus powered, which basically means that you don't need to plug it into the wall. So on the DDJ-SX and the DDJ-SR, you do require 9 volts into them to make them work. But on the DDJ-SR, this is completely bus powered, so it's super portable, and yeah, you can plug and play it anywhere with your laptop, and away you go. So you do have a small master VU meter here, but you don't have the channel because you have to switch it across on here. The platters again are getting smaller, the buttons are getting smaller, and one of the most noticeable things now, the tempo slider has moved up to the top. So I know a lot of DJs kind of hate it when it's up here. They kind of always prefer it here, and the reason that we do this is for space. That's the only reason. And we have the space and the luxury and the real estate here to move it here and also on here. But as you start to make smaller controllers, it's really difficult to engineer them where they're at the side because you need to free up the space. So that's generally why you find them at the top. You've just got the 2 filter pots. You've again got the 1 pot to select. Again, this is this a 3 mixer? No, this isn't a 3 mixer now, so you can't put your CDJs into here. You can put an auxiliary input into it, so if you did have an iPod, but you've only got 1 master level here, you've got the booth outputs and a master TRS jack output, and that's about it really. I can't remember how much this is, but I think it's about 600 euros, but Pally might shout at me if I say that. So that's the DDJ-SZ, the DDJ-SX, and then the DDJ-SR, and we also have a really small 2-channel version called the DDJ-SB that was our first product to hit the 200 euro price mark. And again, I don't have that one here, but that's just tiny, again, USB powered, and again, as you can expect, the quality just kind of comes down. That one doesn't work with Serato DJ, that only works with Serato Intro, which is a free piece of software that you can download. Serato DJ, you do have to actually pay for it, but if you buy one of our controllers, then it comes, this basically acts as the hardware dongle to unlock it. So plug it in and away you go. So yeah, that's kind of our complete Serato lineup at the moment. Anybody got any questions on any of our Serato controllers? Nope. You're a shit audience. All right, next one. Okay, so I missed it out here. What we're going to do is we're going to now go on to the RMX 500, which is a bit more exciting and a bit more visual. So the RMX 500 is an effects unit. I'm going to play you the video and then I'm going to give you a bit of a demonstration and walk over the products for you.
DJs and producers the most easy to use multi-effects unit yet. The lightweight RMX 500 takes the best features from the Top Flight 1000, but gains a more simplified layout and a lower price. Onboard customization and ingenious one-handed control of multiple parameters make it easier than ever to remix live or in the studio with the free plugin. 2 main effects sections are designed for creating beats and processing your mix at the same time. And the real beauty and game-changing feature is the ability to skillfully finish even the most crazy effects combinations using our exclusive release effects. Starting with the right, we have the scene effects. Just like the RMX 1000, these are split into two further sections. The build-up effects add excitement to the track, whereas the breakdown effects combine a filter with another effect to strip it away and add tension. Along the top, build-up effects includes mod, echo, noise, spiral up, and reverb up. And along the bottom, there's a high-pass filter, low-pass filter, zip, spiral down, and reverb down. Overall, we've progressed the RMX technology with two new innovations. Instead of many complicated controls, we made it more intuitive and easier to control. Select an effect and twist the knob to increase the level and depth at the same time. And now this control is also pressure sensitive. Pushing it intensifies the effect by modulating a complementary parameter. Another way to add further intensity and blend the effects into the mix is with the Echo Plus feature. This adds a short echo to the effects, and you can control the timing with the Echo beat button on the right. The scene effects let you get as creative as you want with your music. The crazier it gets, the more difficult it can be to finish. You can deactivate the effects and let the tail fade out, but that doesn't always give the impact you're looking for. To solve this, the RMX comes with a unique solution. Press and hold the release effects button, and this will silence both the music and any effects. It will also add either a vinyl break, an echo, or a backspin to the music. Releasing the button brings the track back in while the effects remain switched off. You can even choose to keep the effects active. While holding the release button, press an effect. Now when you let go, that effect will still be active. Add to the excitement of the scene effects and chop up and re-edit your music with the rhythm effects section. This section includes the audio effects at the top and a drum machine at the bottom. Control both parts simultaneously with the beat timing knob in the middle. Use the audio effects to loop, chop, delay or offset your music using roll, trans, add, reverse delay and offset. Along the bottom we have the drum machine. This includes kick, snare, clap, hi-hat and cymbal. Press one of the drum buttons and that sound will begin to loop. Turn the knob to increase or decrease the timing. This is great for adding rhythmic drum sounds to your music with the touch of a button. Adjust the drum sounds level for a better fit in the mix with the instrument level controls here. Just like the scene effects, press the knob down to dramatically increase the beat timing of the rhythm effects or drum sounds. The drum machine can also be used to create a 4 or 8 beat loop. Hit overdub and then tap in the rhythm using up to 5 drum sounds. These will automatically quantize to the BPM of the unit. Press the plus and minus buttons to adjust all sounds as a whole, or you can adjust individually. The drum sounds will play for as long as you hold the button down. And now if you stab in any of the rhythm audio effects momentarily, it alters the loop as it plays, which is recorded as part of the sequence. The drum sounds and rhythm audio effects can be muted from your loop by holding delete and then tapping the relevant drum or effect. Holding delete and pressing the drum or effect again will unmute it. You can create a loop, temporarily take out a drum, remove an effect, and then add in others, resulting in a dynamic loop that fits well with the playing track. You can exit the loop instantly by pressing the exit button, or you can hold delete and press each drum sound periodically to flow better with the track. The RMX 500 can be customized directly on the unit to choose different effects, variations, drum sounds, and timings of the sequencer and release effects. Holding down Customize Shift will illuminate all the functions that can be tweaked. Now when you press the drum sounds, it cycles through 6 different sounds on each and remembers your setting even when you power off. Do the same with the overdub and change from a 4 to 8 beat loop. Each scene effect has 2 options, whereas noise has 4 different oscillator options. Finally, use the Customize function to change the length of the release effects, backspin, echo and vinyl break. Like the club standard RMX 1000, this effector can also be used in the studio as a controller for the RMX 500 VST, AU or RTAS plugin. An onboard sound card means producers can plug their headphones in the RMX 500 for high quality audio as they create music or master DJ sets. The RMX 500 will add huge creative possibilities to any setup, and with a small and portable build, it's ideal for DJs on the move. Use it with your mixer on the sender returns or connect it straight to the master output to bring professional flagship features to even low-end setups. And to really take your setup to another level, connect one RMX between every CDJ and your mixer, giving you independent effects on each channel.
So this series are RMX 500s. So as David says, this is the smaller brother to our RMX 1000. And for any of you that saw our RMX 1000, that was kind of our first product in our, what we're calling the remix series. The RMX 1000 was a good product, but what we kind of learned from it was very complicated. You know, there was the ability to plug it into a piece of software called Rekordbox, where you could customize all the settings and save it onto an SD card and load them into the units. And we just found that maybe people weren't really asked about doing this, so it was kind of quite complicated. We were putting far too many variables in the chain to get a solution. So what we tried to do with the RMX 500 is take all of the good bits from the RMX 1000 and put it in an easier to use solution. So we kind of kept the scene effects at the top, the oscillator or breakdown effects at the bottom, and our rhythm effects and our beat effects. So I'll kind of go through the product and kind of show you what it can do and talk you through some of the ways that you can customize it as well. So I'm using this with the DJM900 Nexus. The unit's on send and return, which means the signal goes out into the effects unit and then back in. I assign it to the channel and I just engage it, and then so yeah, running on channel 2, really easily, it's instant gratification. We want somebody to just be able to walk up to it and use it. So you literally hit the effect, you select your time parameter on the side here, and then really easy. And then as David said, what you can do, if you press customize, which is in the middle, and then hit it, you can cycle through different effects. So this, let me just put it in there. Kind of like got a bit crush high pass filter there, and then if you press customize again, you just got a high pass filter. And as soon as you turn the unit off, that will customize in there and save it. Low pass filter. Again, if you press customize, put some bit crush on there instead. The zip, which is kind of like a time stretch. And the great thing is with this is it's got another level on there, so and as you turn it at the same time, it's kind of modulating at the same time as you push it down. Kind of the beat effect. effects on this side here, and then we go over to this side, we kind of put the sampler or the drum machine. So if we just put in I've got this little hi-hat symbol going over the top now. We can customize that. Change the volume, change the sound bit again. So if anybody used the RMX 1000, the drum machine, it's quite complicated putting in your sounds, but just then a snare. Basically locks this tempo on here. But what is really cool is that you can actually send this to another channel. So this is my track playing here. between the different sounds. You've got the beat effects at the top, the ability to kind of make snare patterns and little independent loops. The send returns on the side. It's also got a sound card inside here, so if you're producing on the road, you can just plug it in and customize it and preview it. So yeah, that's the RMX 500. It's kind of the smaller brother to the RMX 1000. Okay, so we're going to have a quick break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do some Rekordbox stuff. Okay? Thank you. Okay, so if anybody else kind of lost a lot of numbers now, so give you all the seconds and then we can start again. Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed the first half, kind of looking at our Serato controllers, the DDJ-SZ, SX, SR, the DDJ-SP, and the RMX 500. Now what I want to talk to you about is Rekordbox. Hands up if you know what Rekordbox is. Okay, hands up if you don't know what Rekordbox is. Alright, just you. See you later. Okay, no, sorry. So, what I want to do with Rekordbox to you is, I'm going to show you a video again, just so it kind of gives you an understanding of what Rekordbox is, and kind of show you how I use Rekordbox. Rekordbox is so important to our professional products, especially our CDJ range, CDJ Nexus 2000, Nexus 2000, 900, 9000 Nexus, and 850, 350 and 400. You know, it's an essential tool to our hardware. If you're using any of our players or mixers, if you're not using Rekordbox, you're really not getting the best out of the product. If you're using a CDJ 2000 and not using Rekordbox, you're basically using an €1,800 CD player with no extra features. So I can't stress you how important it is. So I'm going to play you a quick video, and then I'm just going to go over how I use it and the benefits of our hardware once you kind of use Rekordbox. Okay.
You need to be using Rekordbox and all the it brings. Basically, Rekordbox is the iTunes for DJs. Keeps all of your music organised with playlists ready for DJing. Rekordbox is DJ software, but not for DJing. It's purely for creating your perfect music database to be played from your laptop, smartphone, USB or SD card. It's got something for every style of DJ, with artwork for vinyl lovers through to memory and cue points for hip-hop DJs. The Rekordbox workflow is circular, so you start by importing your music, organise and prepare, then export for DJing. After your gig, you can bring back any changes to update your library. Rekordbox can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be, but if you don't take a simple step of analysing your music, you'll be missing. So we'll start out with all the benefits you get just by dragging your music into the Rekordbox collection. And if you already use iTunes, you can drag playlists straight in from the bridge window. As soon as your tracks are added to the collection, Rekordbox automatically starts to analyse the audio and ID3 track information to create a database. All you have to do is make a USB key or SD card using Rekordbox, and that database is exported at the same time. Rekordbox starts by analysing the music tempo and creates a beat grid. And for live recorded music, you can switch on our exclusive dynamic mode that automatically warps the beat grid to changes in tempo. This beat grid alone brings 3 major advantages to your mix and is only enabled with Rekordbox exported drives. So the first point is quantizing the CDJs. With this on, whenever you create a loop or trigger a hot cue, the timings will automatically lock to the nearest beat. You can even create a loop in the middle of a mix and it will never go out of time with the other track. And if you have hot cues set up in advance, you can jump to any part of the track and sound like a pre-recorded edit. The second is FX quantize on the DJ-900 and 2000 Nexus. These mixes can read the same beat grid over the network and keep all of your echoes, rolls, and beat effects in perfect time. And thirdly, the new sync on the CDJ-2000 Nexus makes it possible to lock the BPM across 4 decks, and even works for live recorded music. Combine this with quantize and you can drop acapellas, track parts, stems or loops straight into the mix, just like an Ableton Live set. The beat grid makes it possible to be more creative and adventurous. The Rekordbox can also analyse the musical kit. So the next time you're browsing on the CDJs, it knows what is playing on the other decks and shows you what songs will mix in harmonically. Another huge feature you'll be missing out on if you don't analyse your tracks with Rekordbox is the waveform. See track arrangements and never miss a breakdown or drop again with different zoom levels to see more detail or a bigger overview. When it comes to organisation, Rekordbox uses all the tag info to help you find the perfect track quickly. Without Rekordbox, if you simply put MP3s on a USB drive, all you have is the folders and file names to go by. But the CDJs have a sophisticated browser that only works with the Rekordbox database and automatically presents your music in categories like artist, key, BPM, rating and more. When you're in a playlist or list of tracks, you can also use the sort option to find unplayed tracks or sort by BPM and more. You can also use the CDJ to search for any part of the artist, label or song title text. So far we've covered what happens when you simply import tracks to Rekordbox, and you can already see the huge benefits this has for your next gig on the CDJs. There's a lot of preparation that can be done in advance to make your DJ set a lot more enjoyable that would simply be too stressful to do at a gig, like making playlists, setting up loops and cue points, and customizing the CDJs in advance with my settings. The hot cue section is identical to the CDJs, but with Rekordbox you get the option to tell the CDJ to automatically load them when you load the track. Saving up to 10 loops or cues from memory for recording later is really easy. Rekordbox also has an active loop feature that automatically engages when the track gets to that point. Adjust all of your favourite features in advance in the preferences panel, and they are automatically added to your device when you export music. Features like vinyl mode, master tempo, pitch range, auto cue level, and time mode to name a few. Everything we've shown you in this video can also be done on your smartphone or tablet with Rekordbox Mobile. You can load a whole set onto your phone and connect it to the CDJs so you'll always be able to play last-minute sets. One of the simplest ways to play music on the CDJs, and something that so many people don't realise exists, is Rekordbox Link. The experience is almost identical to DJ software and digital vinyl systems like Traktor and Serato, except the CDJs are doing all the work and the laptop is just the music source. And because the CDJs are doing all the hard work, Rekordbox runs effortlessly on any computer, making it more reliable than DJ software. No more crashing or overheating computers mid-set from processor-hungry software. All you need is a single LAN cable and no additional sound cards or wiring, making setup fast and simple. Even 2 laptops can be set up at once, making it easy to switch over or play back to back. You can also access the laptop library using the CDJ screen, so you don't have to stare at the computer all the time. You can also load tracks from the CDJs remotely from the laptop. Now you're set up and playing on the CDJs, every change you make on the players is saved back to the library. You can edit beat grids, add and remove hot cues, loops and memory points, create and edit playlists, and even rate tracks that really work in your set. Changes made when using Link are saved instantly back to the library, or Rekordbox updates when you next plug in your USB or SD card. And finally, so you never forget the tunes you played in the set, your track history from the last gig is also important and saved as a playlist. These can be exported as text files or as iTunes compatible playlists, so you can share your track list and mix easily on the web. Rekordbox is available as a free download from Recordbox.com.
Okay, so I'm going to work off this screen here now. I'm going to show you Rekordbox. So, like I said to you, Rekordbox is super important if you're using any of our Pioneer hardware, especially our CDJs, and I'm going to talk you through the process of why you need to do that. Of course, you can just stick music on an SD card or a USB key and stick it in the CDJ, but there's so many features missing, like quantized looping, WAV display, key detection, quantized loops, quantized hot cues, being able to search the track, my settings, which means all of your settings inside the CDJ can be automatically loaded, automatic hot cue loading, history, so you always know what you've played. So many features are missed. So I'm going to talk you through the process of getting music in there, kind of managing it, and then sticking it onto, like, I use an SD card. I'll show you how I'm going to put it on there. So I actually manage all of my music inside iTunes. So anything that I buy or, I don't know, I get sent or whatever, I kind of manage it in here. And I'm a bit of a ID3 tag holder, so my music's kind of quite neat and tidy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new playlist inside iTunes, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to bridge that over into Rekordbox. So I'm going to call this test 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to grab a few tracks that I've got recently. Let's go for these ones here. Put them into that playlist called Test 1, 2, 3, and there we go. I've got these tracks here. So I'm just okay. So I'm going to quit out of iTunes and back over into Rekordbox. So this main window here is basically our collection view, and it works exactly the same as iTunes. So you can see where all your music is, you know, exactly the same. So here's all your music, and here are all your different categories, and it's very much similar with Rekordbox here. So I can easily just drag music off my desktop into here, but the way I use it is I'm actually going to use the bridge tool, which basically links over to iTunes. So I'm just going to refresh the library, and then I should be able to find that test playlist that I just made. So here are those 4 or 5 tracks that I just put in iTunes, and then all we do now is we right-click the playlist and go import playlist. And then if I go to my playlists, inside Rekordbox, we've now got those 5 tracks here. What all this is doing here, this isn't importing the track and saving it and copying it somewhere else. This is merely creating a database, so it's unique to the Rekordbox software. And once we're inside here now, we can start to basically customize the tracks. So I'm going to load this track up here, and you can see that I've actually already put some information in here, but I'm going to take this out. I'm just okay. So this is the kind of music that I play, if anybody's interested. So it's analysed the BPM here, and it's giving me 123.99. So first of all, I'm going to check that with the metronome. Just skip through the track. And mute that down. The reason it's important to do this is so that when you do your quantized looping, the quantized looping will be correct. So I'm just going to skip through the track. So that kind of kept the tempo quite well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hot cue in at the beginning. So I'm going to get to here. I'm going to push quantize and then A. So now. And then I'm also going to put a loop in here. So now we've got these 2 points, so loop in halfway through the track. Another really cool feature that a lot of people don't know is we have a thing called an active loop. So when the track starts to get to the end of the track, I can put a loop in, press memory, press memory again, and this goes active.
Rik, hold on. There you are.
What?
You lost your video server.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, that goes to an active loop. So what that means is when the track is coming to the end, it will automatically go into that loop, so you're never going to run out of track, basically. So a really, really cool feature. So what we've done there is we've started to build up the track. It's analysed the key, so it's given us the key of F. And what this does is, when we were developing this software, we had the opportunity to work with mixing key. Does anybody use mixing key? Yeah, so it kind of analyses the music and it breaks it up into numbers. So the rule is, if it's a 2A, you can mix to a 2B or a 3A or a 1A. And the reason it does that is because not many DJs know that the key of C fits with the key of G, fits with the key of E minor, and that's how it works basically. So Pioneer introduced their own system called the traffic light system. And what that does is when you play a track on the CDJ, the other CDJ knows what key it is. And all of the tracks that you're searching through, it will basically indicate that they will mix in key by a little traffic light. So that was kind of Pioneer's own system. We could have worked with mixing key, but we basically had to pay them a massive license fee in order to do it. So we decided to introduce our own system. So this is kind of what I start to do now. I kind of preview all my tracks. So I'm happy with that one. Let's put another track up. And you can see already that these are points that I've made already. And on the CDJ, you can just navigate through these little points. Which I kind of mix out from. It's pretty boring if you watch me show. Another one for you. A bit faster. Okay, so this one here, can you hear how the beat's not quite right? You can just maybe put one loop in at the end. And then the last track. So you can see again, I've kind of started to build up all these little loops here. So how much time you put into this is really the reward that you get out on the CDJs. Don't get me wrong, you can just stick a load of music in there and export it, and you'll get a lot of features on the CDJs, but I don't know, when I DJ, I kind of like to, I'm kind of quite precise with what I'm doing, or I like to think I am. So this kind of preparation here really starts to help me. So what you put into this is what you get back from it, basically. So that's kind of how to import music, and how to build up playlists, and the bridge function. The information here is basically just an advanced ID3 tag editor, so you can see information about the track, very much like using iTunes. Oh, you don't want to see my diary for the next week. Very much like using iTunes and pressing Apple I, so you can kind of see more information on it. Exactly the same. So once you started to do that, some other cool features that we've got are My Settings. So these are just very basic settings that you don't really need to worry about. That's where your iTunes library is. This is the sound card you're using. You can set up some hotkeys on the keyboard so you don't have to be using the mouse. This is what is my settings here. So on the CDJs, there's quite an in-depth menu of different settings, but you can actually customize your whole CDJ in this screen here. So if you set all of these up into like play mode single, if you like your pitch range going from a +10 rather than +50, you can set all of this up inside here, and then it will save it all onto this SD card. So as soon as you put your SD card into the hardware, the whole range will kind of customize to exactly what you want it to do. And also you can put colors to tracks. It's just another way of indicating tags. So like all of my yellow tracks are deep house, for example, and end of night tracks, you can kind of search quickly for music. So yeah, you just kind of get into here and do whatever you want, really. Okay, so I use an SD card, so once that's done, so what it said to me here is it's found history, so everything that I've been doing recently, it can re-import and give you a history of what tracks you played, so that's great if you want to do like a radio playlist or something afterwards. So I'm going to go back to that playlist, test 1, 2, 3, and export playlist onto my device. Done. So now if we go to our device, let me just check if it's on there. Yeah, so those are the tracks that we just put over there. Another really cool feature that we've just introduced is the sync function. So say for example, you're always managing one playlist inside here, you're always dragging new music in, maybe you change a few VQ points, maybe you change some of the ID3 tags. Whenever you put your device in, that device will automatically always sync to this playlist. So that's kind of a really cool feature as well. So yeah, all of that music should be on there now. So when I put this into the CDJ, hit SD card, because that's what I'm using. The first thing it will tell me is that it's found my settings, which is that unique information to me. So as soon as I hit load, the CDJ is now customized to how I want to use it. So I'm going to go into playlists, test 1, 2, 3. There's that first track that we were doing, that synthy line at the beginning. And if I just load in that cue point at the beginning, and then now we've got the other cues in there. So now you can see as well we've got quantized hot cues now. So I'm actually pressing it a beat before, but it jumps in time. So a really cool feature, and also we've now got the WAV display as well, which you can. So if you weren't using Rekordbox here, you wouldn't have any of this WAV display. You wouldn't be able to use Slit mode, which basically gives you the ability to loop the track on the fly, but keep the track going underneath. So it's always perfectly in time. So Slit mode. And the track's going always underneath, so it always kind of makes sense. And also if you it's always going underneath, so a really, really cool feature. And also in reverse. search, which is a feature again unique to using Rekordbox. If we go into the SD card, into the search folder, you can then use your finger to navigate through and select a track as soon as you've got it. And then the cool thing is you've always got the hot cues ready to go. And then if you come out of select mode, just go back in. So another really cool thing is now on the DDJ-2000 Nexuses we also have sync. So I'm just going to go over to that playlist that I made again. I'm going to put a loop in over here. So an 8-beat loop. So acid test, just Another really cool feature is if you're using Recordbox, you can basically sync all of your BPMs to the mixer. So if I go over to this DDJ, bit of a boring track. Okay, so if I go into channel 3, my tempo slider is now basically looking at my BPM engine. So if I put an echo on, and I change the tempo of the track, you can hear the echo going at the same speed. So what the BPM from the CDJ is actually going to the mixer, and the BPM engine is reacting in real time to when you move the tempo. So all of your effects will be perfectly on beat. So yeah, that was, Rekordbox is really important, and also you don't have to just use it on an SD card or a USB key. You can LAN into here, into a little network hub, into your CDJs, like the video is saying, and it basically works exactly the same as Tractor or Serato would do. But the benefit is that the CDJs are doing all of the processing. The problem when you're using software on a laptop, especially for DJing, is that the software is very dependent on the processor, which is why you kind of get audio glitches and things start to lock out or crash sometimes. So it's great because all of the information is coming directly onto the CDJ. So has anybody got any questions about Rekordbox? Nope? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to move on to one of the last things tonight is a project called Kubo. Yes.
You know the software Record Buddy?
Yes.
Tell us something about that.
Yeah, so I know the guy that developed that, so that's to work with Tractor, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, so we understand that people are using Tractor, and obviously we want them to be using Rekordbox, and we understand that people have made cues and playlists and beat grids inside Traktor. So this guy basically made a tool that basically inputs all of your Traktor information into Rekordbox. That is an official Pioneer product, and we can't officially endorse it because it's basically us saying to Traktor, it's kind of very politically incorrect for us, especially when we've worked with them on past products. So, but yeah, we've kind of maybe helped that guy develop it a little bit. But it's a really cool tool. If you've got a wicked library of Traktor and you want to start maybe using Rekordbox, yeah, you can just download it. I think is it a free app or is it paid? It's paid. $10. So yeah, easy, and it will just basically act as a middleman between your Traktor library and your Rekordbox library and link it all in. So if you spent ages creating a database in there, then you can easily link it in. So yeah, good question. Are you using that?
Not yet.
So yeah, I'd recommend you use it actually. Definitely start using it. Any more questions on a Rekordbox? Nope? Okay. Okay, yeah, so I want to kind of show you one last final thing is KUVO. So probably not many of you will know about this. This is a brand new project that I've kind of been working on. It's kind of the main thing that I've been working on for the past year or so. We're yet to announce this. This is a massive part of Pioneer's future. We're yet to announce anything, but it is there, it is available, and it is working. We just haven't done any PR on it yet or any marketing because we need the system populated before we market it. So this is a completely new innovation from Pioneer. It's nothing to do with another controller or another CDJ. It's kind of something new we're working on that maybe links all of our products across the world. So this is kind of quite exciting. So I wanted to share this video with you, and it'd be great to get your instant feedback and hopefully maybe try and get you involved as well. So yeah, this is fresh news. Oh, crossfader. That's it.
Kubo is a new web service for Pioneer DJ that is set to transform the way dance music fans can discover clubs, DJs, and music from around the world. For the first time, a vast infrastructure of network decks is quickly becoming connected to our cloud server via our new Pioneer Gateway unit. By offering the ability to bring club DJ booths online, you can join an expanding community.
Simply with the Kubo system, it uploads the metadata from what you played from your set into a cloud system. You'll be able to find out information about records straight away. Even if it's a demo I made 2 hours ago, you'll know what that record is.
Clubbers and music lovers will be able to see exactly who is playing, where they are playing, and what they are playing, all with the new Kubo app and website available now.
This is the one that I think a lot of people have been waiting for. It's just the universal appeal it has as a labeler, as a DJ, as a clubber, as someone that just is into music.
Download Kubo for free and discover clubs nearby using the interactive map. Tap on a club and see who's playing right now, and even if you don't know the DJ or track, you can preview the track in iTunes or Beatport and buy it there and then.
From a label's perspective, this is a real tangible source of income. If someone's in a club and hear a record and they're inspired by it, they can buy it real time with the application. If someone's at home and they want to see what's going on around the world, they can access clubs, see what's being played, make a purchase straight away. This is revolutionary and really going to aid independent dance labels.
Using Recordbox, DJs can embed messages in their tracks with links to downloads, videos, or details about a forthcoming release.
Kubo is really going to help record labels in terms of fostering new talent. We can test things out in clubs, try things out real time. Does this artist work for you? Does this track work for you? Embed metadata into that to create interaction with potential buyers. That will then shape the way we A&R.
Kubo app also makes it possible to favourite the track, which saves it for later, and the DJ can see the reaction from not just inside the club, but around the world.
Like if you've got 3 or 4 records that you're testing and you don't know which order to put them in, to release them in, it'd be great to see which ones are hyping a bit faster. Exactly.
If you really like the DJ, you can also like their profile and keep up to date with their gigs. Not only does Kubo help you discover new music in a completely new way, you can also share the discovery with a picture. Take a photo with the Kubo app and the club name, track name, DJ and exact time played is stamped onto the picture. Now when you share your pictures on sites like Facebook, people can see exactly where, when and what music was playing. Kubo is also a window into what is trending right now in real time, showing you the DJs, clubs and dance music that's actually being played.
Club music is very much DJ based, it's all DJ based. It could be one of the first times we actually get to see what people are listening to out.
As soon as a DJ or club starts broadcasting track information, they appear in this list one by one.
Kubo is the ultimate reaction sheet, you know, there's no making it up now. I can go online and see actually who's recording my records, marrying that with the information fed back from the clubbers. It doesn't get much more accurate than that.
In the trending section of the website, you can see a chart of tracks or DJs and clubs from that week.
So, I mean, I think in this way, it takes things and makes it real. You know, it's like this is actually what's happening in real time, and the numbers are something that you can't dispute.
In turn, that will then influence club charts. Club charts won't be based on advertising space taken out in magazines, they'll be based on real-time hype. So this is going to change the game.
The club map is also the best way to find clubs near you, but also dig into their history. You can see who's played there, link through to their profile, and review historical set lists to find out what that DJ has been playing and when.
As a DJ, just to be able to go back on your own sets. I mean, often I'm playing so fast, I don't really know what I've played. And people go and ask me, what was that here, what was that there, do a little jingle, and I'm like, I don't even know what I played last week, let alone 4 months ago.
So if you prefer not to use your phone in the club, you can access a detailed archive when you get home.
So with the Kubo system, it's amazing because anyone will have access to these files and to these sets and to finding out which music really has inspired them at that time or what's maybe in the moment what's inspiring them.
You can also find out all the DJs and clubs that have been playing that track, which can lead on to new discoveries. It's clear how Kubo will feed people's appetite for new music and clubs, but it's also a promotional tool for the music business.
I feel in a way that the Kubo system could change or evolve currently what we have.
This would be really great for even smaller clubs and also underground music, absolutely. That doesn't necessarily chart on radio. This might give a stream of income for more underground artists.
The Kubo service requires clubs to use Pioneer networked capable CDJs and mixers to see what's playing out and confirm it's playing to the speakers. The decks and mixers need to be connected together with a LAN hub, but the DJM2000 and 2000 Nexus have a hub built in. To get this network connected to the cloud, we've developed a network gateway hub. Plug in one LAN cable to the LAN hub, one to the internet, switch it on, and we do the rest. Simply create your club profile on the Kubo website and register the unique ID on the box. Once connected, all track and DJ information is broadcast from your brand profile and puts you on the Kubo map for people to discover.
As a DJ, it couldn't be any easier to use Kubo. All you need to do is go to their website, create a profile. It will then generate an ID that you download to your SD card, USB or drive. Next time you go into a club, Kubo will understand where you are and what you're playing.
But if you are already using Rekordbox, simply add your Kubo login details and it does the rest. The big advantage of Rekordbox is that it lets you opt in or out of the service, and you can even keep individual track IDs private.
And also as a label owner, it might be too soon to release that information, you know, it's perhaps too early to be marketing a record 8 months before it's released.
Kubo already brings together so many existing concepts like music, DJ and club charts, club listings, real-time track discovery and so much more. But Kubo also brings the world's first accurate view into what is playing in real time in the heart of clubland. Music connects all of these concepts together and Kubo puts them all in the palm of your hand and makes those connections interactive. And this is just the start, with so much more planned for the future.
So yeah, that's something new that we've been working on that's called Kubo. Has anybody any initial feedback about that or any initial thoughts about that? Yes.
It's looking very great. If you are a tourist in London, for example, and it's good to know what kind of music
Yeah.
in the clubs.
So what we've tried to do here is that we're in a very fortunate position that we have kind of a lot of our CDJs and DJMs in many DJ booths across the world. So we're just basically trying to link them. So we're going to be able to build up this real-time chart of what's happening. And like you say, you could literally be walking through the streets of London or anywhere and see 15 clubs down the street on your phone and actually see what music and what DJ was actually playing in that club before you even got there, and see who was on and what was happening in the club that week and next week.
The most awesome thing is that it's real time.
Yeah, of course. And from this as well, we'll be able to build like a real-time global dance music chart. So yeah, this is something we've been working on. We're going to launch hopefully next month. And at the moment, this is a free service that we're offering to clubs. So if any of you DJs are playing at clubs and want to get on board on this and would like to get this in there, then come and see me at the end and we can arrange hooking that up. Okay, so that's kind of at the end of what we were going to do today. Has anybody got any final questions or any feedback to Pioneer as a company or anything we could do? And then Paddy's asked me to maybe play a record for a minute, so which I reluctantly want to do, but I will do. So anybody got any questions, final questions about what we've done, or any thoughts on Pioneer and would like to give any feedback to Pioneer? Yes, I've been looking at you all night. Wait for you to stick your hand up. Yes.
Remix 500, suggested retail prices.
Oh, Pally? Oh, Michael, RMX 500. I think it's 400 euros, 399 euros. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Any other questions? Come on. Yes.
Yeah. On a DDJ-SX controller,
Yep.
I think it's very annoying. You can't Q scratch like on a CDR.
On the DDJ-SX you can't Q scratch.
Like Q scratch, like it doesn't jump back to the Q.
Oh, because you have to press shift.
Shouldn't.
Yeah, the Q works on the shift to get you back to the start of the track.
Yeah.
Doesn't that work though if you put a Q in? You mean when you go like...
Yeah, exactly.
I think you can do that. Let's have a look at the end and see if you can do it. I think you can though. I might be wrong, but yes.
I got a question about Rekordbox. For example, you got on the USB playlist, and your computer crashes and you need to reinstall the computer on Rekordbox. Can you import from the USB?
No. No, and we're working on that feature for, you're not the only person to say that. Unfortunately, yeah, if you're at a gig and your laptop gets nicked and you buy a new laptop and you can't retrieve your database. On a new update we're working on, for 6 months' time, you'll be able to do that. Because, yeah.
That's not quite right. You actually can copy your database from laptop to laptop.
You can't copy in your queue information, your track information.
Yes, you can. I've done it.
Yeah? And maybe you can show me how then.
And me.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Have you some? There's someone who would like to answer.
Sorry?
Have you some these compromises?
Yeah. I didn't think you could do that. I don't think. Okay, anyway, we can have a look at that. How are you doing that? Can I ask?
Yes, you can. When you have your new laptop, you of course have to put all your music files in the same directory. And then you actually can copy, at least in Windows you can. I don't know if you can on Mac.
Okay.
But on Windows, you'll be able to, when you reinstall Recordbox, you can copy all the files from your old installation.
No, not with your USB key. That was the question. You can copy your database off another hard drive onto that hard drive, but if you have just all your information on your USB key, like where you were at the gig with, you can't put that back into your computer and copy that to your Recordbox database. We can chat about this after. Any other questions? No? Alright, well, hand back over to Paddy and Michael.
Yes,
Så er det tid til at trække vinderen af trøjen i HDJ 1500. Og Michael er lykkens gudinde.
Det var da dejligt.
Yes. And the winner is Line Rosdal.